In 48 hours, this old Crown Vic goes wheel to wheel in its first ever race. But before it hits the track, there's still quite a bit of work to do. In this video, we're wrapping up the final touches before race day. It's been a long grind getting here. Now, it all comes down to this. I've got hardly any time to get this thing race ready and race legal. Decals, numbers, this is the final push. Am I ready? As Dad and I began to lay out the decals, we realized a problem. The numbers were too long. My Dale Earnhardt style font added quite a bit of length to the numbers. So we had an idea. The door handles are about as useless as a screen door on a submarine at this point, since the doors are welded shut. So off they come. We first tried to secure a piece of thin steel in place with self-tapping screws, but that proved to not work out very well.
Can you weld enough to go get the welder and just put a couple tacks in? It doesn't have to be fancy.
I can't weld, but what's the worst that can happen?
Looking away?
I'm looking away.
Should be staying in place now.
Nope.
It, in fact, was not staying in place.
That should definitely be holding that. That one's on.
Next, we did the same to the other side. And while that cools, we get to work starting on some other decals and getting an idea of where they'll lay out.
That's just about your center of that right there.
All right, so that'll line up with that line we made down there.
So you're gonna take this now. That's gonna go somewhat like wherever you're gonna go here. You're gonna bring that line down and you're gonna match that to that, or you can eye it. See how that's gonna go right there?
Yeah.
That's basically the center. So we're gonna eye that and we're gonna go to this line here.
Keep in mind, neither of us have ever put a decal on a car before in our lives.
Stay on that.
So this is completely new to us.
You're gonna see when I'm pretty close there.
Yeah, that looks good right there.
It looks like we're fairly level, doesn't it? Okay, let's try it. Oh, I want you to go.
You're a freaking professional. Wow, that's freaking cool.
It's fairly
Oh,
straight.
that is cool.
All right, so now you know how to do it. I'm going.
Yeah, right.
Now that we had a better idea of what we're doing, we could decal up the rest of the Vic. My brother Ty even showed up to join in on the fun. Starting to look like a true racer now.
Like Steve said, as long as they can read the number for when they're yelling out who won the race. What are you looking at me like that for? What the fuck?
It ended up being a whole family affair.
Oh, that looks great.
Even the hardest man to impress in the world was impressed. And then, with just one day to go, put the final decals on the hood and trunk lid. And these ones are very important because they made this. Sorry, I'm a newbie at this. My fully custom Nomex race suit. It's fireproof. Since 2007, Excel Sports has been dedicated to creating top quality racewear and team apparel for some of the best teams in motorsports worldwide. These guys don't just make suits, they craft premium race-ready gear tailored to fit you perfectly. And it's hard to get something to fit my lanky, awkward frame this good. I mean, look at this thing. It fits like a glove, a fireproof glove. It's so cool. Excel works with drivers across all types of motorsport, and it really shows in the quality and precision. But it doesn't stop at race suits. They create all types of custom apparel. Now this thing is SFI rated. It doesn't feel bulky. It's actually quite comfortable, actually. A massive, massive shout out and thank you to Brian and John at Excel for working with me on this thing. You could tell that they genuinely care, and that means something. So if you're looking for a custom race suit or any sort of custom apparel, check out Excel Sports down in the link in the description below. With hours to spare, it was time to see the final product. Horsepower and 4,000 pounds of precision racing machine, as sharp as a brick, ready for its racing debut. Dad helped me load up the car and waved me goodbye. Today's the big day and I am freaking all sorts of different emotions. Today's the first race. I haven't driven on this track yet. I haven't driven the car on a track yet, any track, or more than 5 miles an hour to begin with. So this is gonna be epic. I'm ultra excited. It's gonna be a blast. 15 more minutes and we're at the track.
You've arrived. Destination is on your left.
I parked my truck in the pits. We rolled the car off the trailer. Then Crew Chief Patrick set about getting the car and all my safety equipment ready.
So when you're putting it on, you put it in this big open space.
Okay.
And you have to align it with the rectangle square thing inside of it. And then you pull it back.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha. Kinda.
Then I asked for some tips.
Now, seeing as though you won your first 2 races, what are some, Oh, I'm sorry!
And then I get wrecked. But that's okay.
So, what do I do tonight to
Well,
reign victorious?
I don't think you'll win tonight. I just think you should get some laps down. Just get the car down, laps down. Just try to figure it all out before you go try to win races. But if you want to go win, just go fast. Go fast, take chances. Piss excellence. Really all it takes. Grab your helmet and pons in a minute, and we'll get you set up in here. So
Okay.
we don't have to play around before you go up for practice. Get
Okay.
set up.
Once I passed tech inspection, I geared up and headed to staging for the first practice. I hyped myself up. Prayed my demise wasn't met in a Crown Vic race practice in front of my father, who was already disappointed in me.
And all the tools needed here from the Dallas stop.
My first time out on the track, and first time driving the car not in my driveway, and I already messed up. I just tried to get a feel for the car here, see how it powered out of the corners, and see how much the tires would push before they finally let go. Practice over, I think. I headed back to the pits and gave Crew Chief Patrick my feedback. Shut it off?
Yeah. How was it?
Terrible.
Really?
I suck ass.
How was the car though?
The downshift's terrible. Hold on.
What gear are you in?
Oh,
I need the number.
First practice is done. That's wild. I felt really slow and I forgot that I put it in drive instead of, you're supposed to put it in 2. You know how it goes 1, 2 drive? I was supposed to put it in 2, and with everything going on, I kind of forgot. So when I was exiting the corners and mashing it, would take like 3 seconds to downshift, and that was obviously because it shouldn't have to downshift. So, lesson learned. Next is qualifying. That's not a watch. A little bit of time, then it's qualifying. So, let's see what happens. Then it was time for qualifying. And unfortunately, between the rush of getting all my gear back on and checking the car over with the team, I accidentally hit the time-lapse setting on my camera. You probably saw me pull down into the infield, and that's because during qualifying, during the second lap I'd say, coming out of the corner, I matted the gas. I wasn't in drive this time, I was down at a second like you're supposed to be. I was matting the gas out of the corner, and the car was hesitating. It was like it was coughing, misfiring, or running low on fuel or something. No, I don't have a fuel gauge in the car. We cut that wire on accident. I probably did it. But I kept trying. I was fine in the straights. As soon as I got to the corner and needed to mat it out of the corner, it was coughing, hesitating. For like 2 seconds, I had nothing, no throttle. It felt to me like the fuel was sloshing to one side and running the fuel pickup dry. So it happened enough times that guys were pulling further and further ahead out of every corner when I needed to be full throttle and I wasn't. So as seconds went by and I was trying to get full throttle and wasn't getting any throttle at all, they were gonna start lapping me soon. The car was not behaving well. I was just waiting for it to die completely. And then, sure enough, the guys would come around the corner, my car would be sitting there, and they'd nail it. They'd take it out, and then I wouldn't get to race at all. So I made what I believed to be the wise decision, pulled down in the infield, and unfortunately, that automatically made me qualify last, because I didn't even finish qualifying. But I limped the car back to the pits, talked with some of the guys, we found out it was indeed running low on fuel. I didn't know how much fuel was in the car when it was given to me. I don't know how much fuel was in the car when it was getting the cage done, so no one really knew how much fuel was in it. No one's fault. So we put 10 gallons of fuel in it in the pits, and now you'll see what happens during the actual race. And I lined up in staging, reached back to hit record on my camera, which was already recording. So therefore, I stopped recording and didn't capture any of the race at all. But luckily, a friend in the stands recorded it for me. The group of 12 packs together, and as we come around the bend, the green flag drops, and the race is underway. Well, more like the group races away for me. 20 laps to go. In the first few laps, it really shows that I've never raced, never been on this track, and never driven this car. As I start to get a feel for the car and the track, I start to inch closer to the second loser. And with a little late braking, I get out in front. My first ever overtake in racing, and it feels sensational. A minute later, I really get in my stride and start to put the pressure on the number 3 Red Vic. My lack of skills makes me mess up. 3 starts to build a lead. As I regain composure and get my head on straight, slowly but surely, I start to reel him in. Most people pass on the inside, but I know no better than take a jab on the outside, and around we go. Really charging through the field now. And as red becomes a smaller and smaller speck in my rear view, I set my sights on the black number 2 Vic. And with the finesse of a rhinoceros on roller skates, the 69 goes on by. But number 2 is not happy to be passed by the idiot in his first race, and he fights back hard. But the 69 is too silly and doesn't know what he's doing, so he keeps the lead. While my adrenaline-fueled charge continued, the race did not. And before I could perform my attack on the next victim, the checkered flag dropped, and the race was over. And I didn't lose. When I finished, I hit the camera to stop recording, which wasn't recording to begin with, so it was now recording. I didn't lose! I didn't lose!
Well, thank you, Ryan, and just like that, that is the race winner of the Crown Vic class, none other than the 5-0 of Ben Patel.
That was incredibly exhilarating. It's hard to wipe this smile off my face because I didn't suck. And you know, the funny thing is you have to fill out this paper. And one of the things is top accomplishment. And mine was blank thus far. But now I think it's going to be top accomplishment passing another car in my Crown Vic. I think that could be it. Thank you all for following along with this journey. It's been a long time coming, even though it hasn't been terribly long, but it's been months. Thank you to Ben for this opportunity. This is incredible. And we'll see you guys next time. Happy motoring.